Keith, you guys are pretty busy in the weather office, tracking some storms here.
Yeah, got a lot going on. I had said earlier I thought they might bump that tornado watch just into western Maine, and that's where it's sitting right now. So obviously tornado watch gets people's attention. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the potential for some flash flooding as well. Tornado watch, interesting box the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma drew. I did think it would get into Oxford and interior York and Cumberland counties. I'm kind of surprised they left the gap out here into the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. Either way, the watch means that conditions are favorable for the possibility of tornado development. Remember, the warning means a tornado is likely on the ground. So if you're in a tornado warning, that's when you do something about it, seek shelter. If you're in a tornado watch, you just need to be aware of it. So what we're watching with this particular situation, and this is kind of classic, we don't get a lot of tornadoes in Maine, but when we do it this way, which is we develop what we call discrete cells, so cells that are just kind of broken off from the main line in New Hampshire, and then they slide across the border, and there's enough shear low-level spin to get them rotating. So we'll be watching anything that develops in kind of the Winnipesaukee area here, sliding into Oxford County. That's our best chance of producing a potential tornado. Larger scale, we've got a lot of rain back here, and this is all part of that tropical air mass that if you were outside at all today, you know is very much in place. And so we have a lot of moisture available to put down to the ground as downpours. That's why we have a flood watch in effect that is extended into Oxford County too, but the tornado watch supersedes that on this graphic. So these are the zones most likely to see heavy rain tonight. Our small scale models do a pretty good job setting this line up into the mountains and foothills later this evening. And again, it's all about the tropical downpours and whether or not the soil can absorb it fast enough. And when it can't, there will be flash flood warnings in effect. Meanwhile, along the coast, honestly, I think it's pretty quiet tonight. I think it's warm. There's some fog maybe along the coast, but I don't think there's much rain. Showers off and on, tropical downpours through the first half of tomorrow, and then we break back out into the upper 80s, even some low 90s, and the sun comes back out and things settle down tomorrow afternoon and into Friday. So rainfall amounts here, I think it's going to be concentrated here, but I would argue it sends down into the Rangeley area in Berlin, New Hampshire as well, where they could see up to 2 inches of total rain. It's all about how fast it comes down. Into the weekend after that, we're cruising, but the story is it's really hot. Temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s straight through for several days. And the dew points are marginally better, guys, after tomorrow. But I'm talking about a difference between a dew point of 73 and maybe 69. So I don't, it's not good. It's still really humid. And you'll notice I've got 3 days in a row there of 90 or above, and the coast isn't a lot different. Unless you're on some of the islands in the mid-coast down East Maine, I don't think there's a huge difference between the coast and inland here, temperature-wise, going forward. So this is peak summer on the one side with the severe weather, but also just the stretch going forward here.
Which we didn't have last year.
Right.
So
At
here
all.
we are.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Keith, thanks.